Okay, so this is going to be a vegetarian pasta option, since I didn't have one of those before. So this is going to be a pasta shells recipe. So first thing you have to do, it actually involves spinach and ricotta filling and a kind of marinara sauce or whatever sauce you choose. So the first thing we need to do is get some spinach, fresh spinach, baby spinach, and we have to blanch it for that is cooked quickly in boiling water for about 20 seconds. So you'll need to get your water boiling in advance and have with you a bowl of cold water. Make sure that you get the jumbo shells, so these are the really big ones. Not everywhere carries them, so you'll probably want to check to make sure wherever you're going to get groceries actually does carry those. So you want to have those ready, as well as the cold water. It's actually supposed to be ice water, but just as long as it's cold water from your tap, it should be fine. You want to have those ready to go because they're the next step after we do this. So this first step is really fast, so we're just going to put this spinach in the water for about 20 seconds. Okay, just 20 seconds. So it'll just be long enough for it to wilt. Put in the entire package. It seems like a lot, but it'll reduce down really quickly. So just about 20 seconds here. It can be a little bit longer, but don't make sure it's not, a full minute or 2 minutes. That's too long. Okay, so that's probably a little more than 20 seconds. We're going to do this quickly as we can. Scoop it into the cold water, or ice water if you have it. That's even better. So you can see that already it's changed the color of the water quite a bit, so you know that started to lose some of its nutrients to the water at this point. That's one of the reasons, in addition to the texture, why you want to get it out of there relatively quickly, so it doesn't become, first, too limp texture-wise, and second, we don't want to lose all those great nutrients. We want that actually in our pasta filling that we're going to use coming up. So these last few we'll just try to get out of the way. So we're going to use this water, so you can turn it back on if you've turned it off. Get it boiling again. So we're going to put the pasta right in there. Probably for this recipe, what we're supposed to do is probably get a separate pot of water, but it'll work just fine if you use the same water, even though it's a little bit discolored there. Okay, so this should be cool or even cold, depending on how cold your water is. But the important thing is that it stops the spinach from cooking further, because you want just sort of a flash cook, and that's it. So if you have a paper towel, a dish towel like this that's clean, that you can use for this. This is the best way to do it, but you can always use a paper towel if you have to. It's just a little more fragile. So gather while you're waiting for your water to come back up to a boil, gather the spinach into one hand. It'll be pretty easy to do despite the initial volume. It really reduces down. And then get as much as you can, and then just gently squeeze a bunch of the water out. So you're doing this firmly, but try not to tear the leaves. Okay, so you'll just have kind of a mass of spinach this way. Just first squeezing out a bit of it, and then just kind of distribute it a little bit loosely. You won't be able to get all of the leaves apart, but just kind of try to break it apart a little bit on the paper towel. And then we're going to roll this to try to squeeze out a little bit more of the water. It doesn't have to be completely squeezed out. In fact, it's not possible to squeeze all of it out, but we just want to get it a little more dry. Okay, so just give it a little bit of pressure. You can kind of leave it rolled up and then open it later if you want, or you can open it at this point. Okay, if you have a clean counter, then it's useful at this point, so you can put it here. We'll need another bowl, this one, about this size, to make the main part of the filling. But it looks like our pasta water is ready now, so we can put these in. So you can put in most of the package. I would say about 3/4 of the package, or half the package if you're just, say, cooking for a few people, 2 or 3 people. Certainly if you're cooking just for yourself, you know, half the package is plenty, and you'll have some leftovers. If you're cooking for, you know, 3 or 4 people, use the entire package. Okay, so leave that in for whatever, you know, the package instructions are, but you can also check it manually. It is going to go in the oven later on, so we don't want it overcooked. So if it's okay if it's a little bit undercooked, because it'll cook a little bit further when it's in the oven, but make sure it's not overcooked. So at this point you also want to get your oven going. So 400 and start. Okay, so this pasta should take around 12 minutes, something like that. And we'll want to prepare the filling in the meantime.